Peter, you must, I assume that you're a big supporter of this standardisation, so that wherever we are in Europe, we know how much water we're using.
Look, I know the BBC have got cuts, but why have you put me in a loo this time? I mean, this is really
a promotion for you.
It probably is. I mean, it is absurd that the EU should be wasting time and money and telling people how much water needs to be flushed down the loo. And they've been doing this. Would you believe they've been investigating this since 2011? They've been flying all over Europe on junkets and testing out different systems. It is the most absurd waste of money.
All right. Natalie Bennett, absurd waste of money or a sensible standardisation?
I think what we're having is absurd, typical British tabloid reporting of a story. What we have here is a voluntary label that manufacturers can choose to use to put on their products so that people will immediately know they're getting the best possible quality. You know, this is another example of curly cucumbers and bendy bananas and all the rest of it. This is a voluntary standard, just like we have, you know, a carbon trust, carbon footprint label, or a fair trade label, or all of those kind of things. This is a voluntary standard. So I can promise everyone the EU is not going to come marching into your bathroom and change around.
They might march into Peter Bone's.
Look, it's
only voluntary. It's a guideline, Peter Bone.
It's out. I don't care if it's a guideline. They've wasted a ton of money on it, and they're behind the curve. Already, you go into McDonald's, there's no water being used at all. Leave it to the market. That will solve the problem. That's why the cost of the EU is going up from 19 billion under Labour to 40 billion under this Parliament. It's complete and utter waste of money.
Well,
and another reason why we should come out of the EU.
I mean, the research, I understand.
There's an important point here to be made here. In terms of that, you know, it's really essential that we actually talk about water conservation. This is a serious issue. We need to cut down the amount of good quality drinking water, expensive drinking water, that we're putting, particularly when we're renovating a loo or putting in a new household. And this is simply saying, here's a good guideline, let's see if we can get to the best possible standard. And, you know, 30% of the water that the British drinking water goes down the loo. In Finland, that's 14%. And that's, you know, a European standard to be good to go towards.
All right. But accordingly to Peter Bone, the research only costs £76,000. I mean, that's just like an MP's expenses, really, isn't it?
No, MPs can't get by on 76,000. That's an absurd underestimate.
Too low.
No, too low. I mean, no, but it's just an example of the complete waste of money we have in the EU. What some people are saying is this is an overweening, unnecessary remark from the EU.
So your alternative would be every member state do its own research and come up with its own standard. And
I said it's market forces.
I'm afraid we're going to have to leave you arguing.
Well, we'll carry on in the loop.
We thank you. Enjoy yourselves there.